Canada. Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
Nah, they lying to you. It's a...
What up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world? I know what time it is when y'all see me. It is Chilltown Hoops is in effect. Yes, sir. It is Monday night, and I'm in here tearing up shit. That's what I do on Monday night. I apologize, but we had a bit of a situation in here. All right, but we good now. All right, I think I got it under control now. Yeah, I think I got it under control now. I'm good. I was hanging up the headphones and got a little crazy for a second, but we're good. We're back in effect, and I'm good. So what I want to talk about tonight is what up, Jordan? How you doing, brother? What I want to discuss tonight is something specific, and the specific thing I want to discuss tonight is the regular season and the postseason. I got two teams right now that everybody is high on. Are they the real deal? That's the $1 million question with this team. Are they, in fact, the real deal? And I apologize, but I got a bit of a hold on for a second. Hang on for 1 second, guys. I apologize. Now I'm straight. All right, I'm back in effect now. I apologize. Thought I had this under control, but I had some technical difficulties, but I'm back in effect. But anyway, like I was saying, so there's two teams right now in the league that I was talking about earlier in the year or before the season started, but I think I gotta start talking differently about them, right? I think I gotta start talking about Cleveland different. Even though I think Oklahoma City is still a year away from winning it, because I don't think they're there yet. But I got to start talking about them different. Even though I think Cleveland is ahead of schedule, I still got to start talking about them different. And I have no thoughts, to be honest with you, Pimp, on Joy Taylor, because I don't care about that stuff. I don't. I do not care about that stuff. I wish I could say I did, but I don't care about that stuff. So with that being said, this Oklahoma City Thunder team, I don't ever remember in my days talking about a young team like this Oklahoma City team is and being as smart as they are. I don't remember ever talking about a team like that. Even the Bulls, when they had Jordan, they had vets on that crew, right? Craig Hodges was a vet, right? They had Craig Hodges on that crew. They had Bill Cartwright on that crew. I mean, they had legit vets on that crew. They weren't this young and that smart. They had young guys on the crew. I mean, in 1991, Scottie Pippen was in year 4. B.J. Armstrong was in year 2. Scott Williams. But they had guys like Cliff Livingston, who was a vet, who had been in the league for a long time. Jordan had been in the league for 7 years. This crew right here, this band of kids, basically, I can't remember a team that's this young that is this smart. And because of that, I got to start talking about them different. Now, I do think that defensively, they communicate with the best of them. Defensively, they shoot gaps. They're in the right places. Their rotations are close to flawless. Now, sure, SGA may be their only legit scorer consistently. As good as J-Dub is, right? As good as Jalen Williams is, he might be their only consistent bucket getter that I trust like that. That's why I think that they're a year away. Because when I look at Jalen Williams, he's the guy. He's the guy that I'm thinking to myself, he's not there yet. Very much like Cleveland, who I'm going to get to in a bit. I just don't think he's there yet. Now, I do think that he's getting there. Oh, that's why I think that they're a year away. Because I do feel like he is getting there. And I do think that there's going to come a time when if you can hold this Oklahoma City group together, right? If you could hold this Oklahoma City group together, they could be a force to be reckoned with in the Western Conference for the next couple of years. Offensively, just from a scoring aspect, right? Just from a scoring aspect, when I watch Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the thing that I marvel at with his game is how in control he is. What I mean when I say that is there is nobody that I've seen that can slow him down. And what I mean when I say slow him down, there's nobody that can throw any sort of monkey wrench in what he does. That's why he can't be slowed down. And this Boston team, they don't have good defenders. They have elite defenders on their show, on their crew. Derek White is an elite defender. Drew Holiday is. I think we're coming up on a time when, you know, I feel like that torch is being passed. But Derek Holiday for a time was arguably the best perimeter defender in the game. And I'm watching SGA have his way with these guys. None of them can speed him up. They can't slow him down. They can't get him out of rhythm because they can't keep the ball away from him, and that's largely due to what they do on offense in OKC. And he's so shifty. And because he's so shifty, he's hard to keep in front of. He's hard to keep in front of you. He's ridiculously hard to do that. And on top of that, and this is what I feel like separates him from Jason Tatum as a bucket getter, he's not going to bail you out with a bad shot. See, JT will bail you out. Jason Tatum will bail you out with a bad shot. SGA won't do that. SGA is going to take what's there, and I don't think he looks at the defense. I don't think he looks at the defense as much as he looks at spots. Okay, I got to get here. Not necessarily how can I get by him, because I already know that I can get by him. What's up, Burr? I already know that I can get by him. The question is that spot right there at 14 feet. That's where I got to get to. That spot right there at 17 feet. The long ball line. This is my spot here. And I'm not going to allow you. What's up, you? I'm not going to allow you to take me out of that. You can't take me out of that. And I've always felt like with bucket getters, always felt like this with bucket getters. Bucket getters, it's like an avalanche. Like once they get going, there's really nothing that you can do. So how can you slow a bucket getter down? Well, I've always felt like with bucket getters, you have to bucket getters are in rhythm. That's how they get their buckets. They're in once they get going, they're in a rhythm. Well, how do you get them out of that rhythm? You get them out of that rhythm by keeping the ball away from them. Because once they get the ball, there's really nothing that you can do except make it hard on them. That's really all you can do. Put a hand in their face, body them up, which clearly doesn't affect SGA. That doesn't affect him at all. So how can I slow him down? The way I slow him down is I got to throw him off rhythm. And I'm not going to throw him off rhythm by yapping at him. I'm not going to throw him off rhythm by being physical with him because he's prepared for the physicality anyway. If you look at his body from when he first showed up into the league to 2 years ago, if you look at him, he's filled out a lot more than he was 2-3 years ago. And that's largely due to him hitting the weight room and him getting older and him filling out the right way. So, with that being said, he's not going to allow you to get him out of rhythm when he gets the ball. So, how can I slow him down? I got to keep the ball away from him. Because I watched Mikal Bridges as a one-on-one defender. And Mikal Bridges is a good one-on-one defender. He's a damn good one-on-one defender. And I watched him go up against SGA. And I thought he did a good job. It's just SGA is that damn good. He just is. He's just that damn good as a one-on-one guy. He's got that burst of speed, as shifty as he is, and he has that burst of speed with the weak hand in particular. Because that's what I'm looking at, right? I'm looking at with that weak hand, how much better he is in how he gets downhill and cuts off your angle to recover. I think that's great as a scorer. I think what separates him as a bucket getter from Jason Tatum is Jason Tatum is going to let you off the hook because he's going to take bad shots. He's going to let you off the hook he's going to let you off the hook as a scorer because he's going to shoot something 24 feet away from the basket. As a ball handler, he can give you moves. Jason Tatum can throw the ball between his legs, and he's got the ability with that in and out with both the right hand and the left hand to get to the rim. And he's one of the better finishers in the game at the rim. But his game in the middle, I don't think that it can be better because I already think it's good. I don't think he goes to it as much. I think that's the problem. That's problem number one. Number two, I think that he bails you out a lot with bad shots. I feel like where he's the most effective is when he's asking for the ball in the post or in the mid post in that area. When he's facing up a guy at 6'9", whomever is covering him, you can't really do nothing with him in that area. When he gets big guys on the wing, one-on-one, he could get by these guys. The difference is Shai's not going to let you off the hook with a pull-up jump shot 30 feet away from the basket. Shai's not going to do that. And if he does do that, that's far and few between than what Jason Tatum does. Far and few between. I think that's where the separator is the shot selection. Because I think Jason Tatum can create shots for himself as good as anybody. With his weak hand, he can get to the rim. With his strong hand, he can get downhill. I think that he can do a better job at I feel like he could do a better job at scoring at the rim, even though he's been great at the rim. I think he could do a better job at scoring at the rim where he's not trying to get fouled more than he is trying to score. I don't think that he allows himself to be that. So I don't think he allows himself to be a scorer more. What up, AO? I don't think he allows himself to be a scorer more than he's getting to the rim to get fouled. I mean, that's really not going to get it done. It's really not. So this Oklahoma City team, that's their engine with SGA, and they got a glass cleaner and a big who can pass in Hartenstein, which I didn't know he was that good of a passer. I did not realize that. He's a damn good passer, and I like that about him. I do. I really like that about him. And the fact that he's a willing passer for a big, I think that I feel like that makes him even better, right? I feel like that makes him even better. So then you couple in a guy in Lou Dort who, for all intents and purposes, I said to myself, if I'm running Lou Dort off the long ball line, I'm running Lou Dort off the long ball line, and I'm making him go to the rim with his strong hand, right? That's really what I'm doing. I'm making him go to the rim with his strong hand. And the reason why I'm making him go to the rim with his strong hand, because I feel like I'm closing out soft. I'm not closing out hard. And if he knocks down one or two of those long balls, I'll live with that. I mean, he did that against the Celtics, right? He did that against the Celtics, and with him doing that against the Celtics, I think you'll live with that. I mean, he made 4 of them in the fourth quarter. All right, I'm cool with that. If that's how we're gonna lose, I'll live with Lou Dort. But I think that his best attribute is making things more difficult on the defensive end for guys, and because of that, right? Because of that, I feel like that's what makes him so much better. Because that's what makes this team better. Because they're able to fly around, get to spots, get to spaces where other teams aren't. Their ability to rotate. I really love this kid, Cason Wallace, because on the offensive end, he just looks like he's going to get better as time goes on. I won't argue that. He just looks like he's going to get better. He got downhill on a fast break, and I still don't know. I still don't understand how this is legal, but I mean, he got downhill, and Drew Holiday was in front of him. I didn't know that you could cuff the ball and get a guy off you while cuffing the ball, right? I didn't understand. It's almost like watching a running back stiff arm somebody. I didn't know that was legit, but apparently in the NBA it is. You 100% can do that, right? You 100% can get downhill and cuff the ball and get a guy off you. You can do that. So, I mean, I guess that's legit. I appreciate that. And this rotation that they have, that kid Jalen Williams came in and gave him some big minutes as a glass cleaner, and he'll make and he'll keep the defense honest as a shot maker. He will definitely keep the defense honest and stretch the defense as a shot maker. I really like this kid Wiggins, because this kid Wiggins, he just seems to know where to be. He just seems to know where to be, and because he knows where to be, right? Because he knows where to be, I feel like that makes him even more effective. Right? I feel like that makes him even more effective because he knows where to be. So you got Wiggins coming off the bench. You got Wiggins coming off the bench. You got Jalen Williams coming off the bench. You got, let's see, Alex Caruso, who's out of the lineup, by the way. He's coming off the bench. 34. Williams, you got him coming off the bench. Oklahoma City, right? Oklahoma City got 9 guys, right? Oklahoma City's got 9 guys. Nine legit guys. I feel like that's what you need in order to have a legit chance in winning the NBA championship. Now, I know what's happening next. I do. I know exactly what's happening next. I think Oklahoma City is going to lose, right? I think Oklahoma City, TGK, you really want to have this argument with me? You really want to do it? Because we can do it. We can absolutely do it. 100% we can do it. I'm down. I'm so down to do this with you. Since you want to come in here, you want to do it? You want to 100%? I didn't say that Shai has a better team. In fact, I think Shai has a lesser team, and I think that he affects winning more than what Jason Tatum does. But the idea, right? The idea, if you want to have this argument, my man, you could come up here and we could do it right now. I'll drop the link in the chat right now. 100%. I want to see where your nuts are. The link is in the chat right there. Yeah, the link is in the chat. Let's see where your nuts at. Come on up here and let's talk about it, because I'm definitely down to have this debate. Definitely, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But anyway, like I was saying, this Oklahoma City team, I feel like they got 9, maybe 10 guys that are legit rotation players, and I think that's what you need in order to have a chance. Now, I said before the season started that even with Oklahoma, even with Minnesota trading Julius Randle, even though they traded Cat for Julius Randle, I still felt like that team was good enough, and I didn't think that. I felt like that team was good enough that wouldn't affect them that much. I feel like Julius Randle had brought some toughness, but it just looked totally different with Julius Randle and without Cat. It looked way different. So, with that being said, this Oklahoma City team, they got 9, 10 guys who are legit. And that I will not argue. What I worry about with them, and this is the reason why I think that they're a year away. I don't think that Jalen Williams is there yet. He's the difference in why I don't think that they're there yet. It's kind of like what was going on with the Bulls when as good as Jordan was, like Scottie Pippen wasn't there yet. As good as Jordan was, I don't think Scottie Pippen was there yet. But one of their best attributes, if not their best attribute, is their ability to defend. Because when I look at Oklahoma City and how they fly around, everything that they did against that Boston Celtic team disrupted everything that they were doing. Everything that they were doing. Shut the door on Jalen Williams, on Jaylen Brown. Shut the door on him. I'm not saying that they slowed him down. Completely and utterly shut the door on him. Now, I'm not one of these people who is of the belief that I'm not one of these people who are of the belief that you can take a team and just rise to the top immediately. No, I'm not. And not only that, I'm not of the belief that Jaylen Brown can just get boxed up like that for an entire series. But what I had to recognize was they were really trying to get to their spots. I mean, I heard Joe Mazzulla say the spacing was a problem. Well, why is the spacing a problem? You guys got plenty of space out here. Plenty. What causes a team to have spacing? Well, you got to make shots, right? You got to make shots. And in addition to you being able to make shots, you have to be able to get downhill. Well, they weren't able to, one, make shots, and two, get downhill. Because one-on-one, Jaylen Brown got boxed up. If he didn't have Lou Dort on him, he had Jalen Williams on it. And I'm going on record to say that, I'm going on record saying right here, right now, I'm going on record to say right here, right now, I think Jalen Williams is an all-league defender this season. I do. I think he makes the all-league defensive team. I'm looking at perimeter players. I think that he is an all-league defender this year. I think Lou Dort is definitely an all-league defender. I think Herb Jones played a lot, but I think that what they did to the Celtics in terms of perimeter defense, they boxed them up. Boxed up Jaylen Brown. Completely took him out of the game in the second half. Now, the idea that he couldn't get to the rim was because he was getting fouled, I'm not trying to hear that. And the reason why I'm not trying to hear that is because we play in one of those eras, right? We play in one of those eras where the physicality is not nearly what it used to be. And you don't have to play through nearly as much contact. You do have to play through some, but you don't have to play through nearly as much contact. So if you get hit on the arm, that is a foul. But for the most part, it's light stuff that you have to play through, right? It's light stuff that you have to play through. And what I saw, right? What I saw when I saw Jaylen Brown trying to get to the rim, I saw a guy whose game was basically figured out immediately. We recognize that you can't handle it, and we're going to crowd you when you're trying to handle it because that completely disrupts your rhythm. You're not as good with the weak hand, so I'm going to sit on that right hand, and I'm going to make you use that weak hand, which he couldn't do. And now he's fishing for fouls. Now he's trying to run guys over. I mean, that's a recipe for success. On top of that, a guy in Drew Holiday who couldn't make a shot. I think the game plan was to leave him open. I think the game plan was to completely and utterly leave him open. And it worked. Because, I mean, the Celtics couldn't really get anything. They couldn't get anything going in that second half. I think they shot 20% for the game at the long ball line. You're not going to be able to slow anybody down doing that. You're not. You're not gonna be able to slow anybody down doing that. So, I mean, with that being said, and just so you know, Natalia, and Jason Tatum destroyed Giannis 2 years ago. Yes, he did. Went into his building and put 46 on him. Forced the game 7 and bounced them out of the playoffs. So how you like them apples? How about that? I want you to yap about that. He went into his building in an elimination game and put 46 on him, took that win, and got them out of there. How about that? How about that? Talk about that when you talk about Giannis destroying them. Talk about him going in there and destroying them. Jason Tatum has a super team. Get the hell out of here. See, when I hear stuff like that, I know for a fact you don't know anything about basketball. You ain't nothing but a troll. Why am I even talking to you? Matter of fact, I'm done talking to you. You're a goofy. Like I was saying, that was a recipe for disaster for Jaylen Brown, right? That was a recipe for disaster with Jaylen Brown. Because when you got a guy like that in Jalen Williams, you got a guy like that in Lou Dort, who knows that you got a weak handle. If I know you got a weak handle, I'm going to crowd you. I'm 100% going to crowd you. Because I know for a fact that if I crowd you, you got to put the ball on the floor. You put the ball on the floor, especially if I'm sitting on that right hand, I know that weak hand of yours is weak. Completely weak. So we'll see what happens the next time they play them. But they got a real big game coming up, right? They got a real big game coming up this Wednesday when they got to play Cleveland, who what I need to do is I need to recognize Cleveland for being better than what they are, because I didn't recognize them for that. What I recognized Cleveland for was a team that was building, which I still think that they are. I still think that they're building in the same way I feel about OKC. The same way I feel about OKC. And I think that they're a year away because of Jalen Williams. I feel the same way about Cleveland because of Evan Mobley. I don't think he's there yet. I think he's getting there. I 100% think he's getting there. I don't think he's there yet. And he is the difference in what they're trying to do. He is the difference. The defender, he'll crack the long ball. One of the best switch bigs in the game. I think he's the defensive player of the year, considering the one-on-one defender that he is, the switchable defender that he is, what he does as a paint protector. I think he's the defensive player of the year all the way around. But it's probably going to be Wemby, and I understand it. This Cavs team, with Evan Mobley emerging as the player that he's emerged as, and Donovan Mitchell basically putting the battery in Darius Garland's back, makes them so much better. I had a conversation with Maz and Ops, and I was trying to make sense of a statement that was made. And the question was asked, can I name 5 ball handlers better than Darius Garland? And after Kyrie Irving, it got tricky for me. After Kyrie Irving, it got tricky. I couldn't say definitively that Luka's a better ball handler than Darius Garland. I can't say definitively LaMelo Ball or Tyrese Halliburton or Trae Young or De'Aaron Fox, Jalen Brunson, or Dame. I can't say definitively that those dudes are better ball handlers. The thing that I think about if I have a criteria for ball handling, 1, are you handling with a purpose? 2, where are you going? Which goes back to handling with a purpose. 3, how many mistakes do you make? 4, how successful are you in getting to where you're trying to go? So when I come up with all of that stuff, I'm thinking about the ball handlers in the game. And I don't think that I'm not sure that there's 5. Just at the lead guard position alone. I don't know if there's 5 that are better than Darius Garland. Irv, James Harden is super nice with the pill. After that, maybe Curry. And I would have given Curry the nod a couple of years ago. I don't think Curry is what he used to be. Chris Paul also. Just at the lead guard position alone, I don't think that I watch LaMelo Ball, and a lot of the stuff that he does, a lot of the stuff that he does with the basketball, a lot of it is not with purpose. It's just handling it. I think Darius Garland, everything that he does with the ball is with a purpose. He's trying to go somewhere. He's trying to go somewhere. Laker fan for life. I can't talk basketball with you. And the reason why, because you're completely and totally biased about your crew. So there's no reason for me to talk any sort of basketball on any level with you. None whatsoever. None. There's no reason for me to talk basketball with you. Because the minute you came up here, the first thing that you talked about was how bad the Celtics were. And you already feel like that because you're a Laker fan. So you already coming into this with closed eyes. So there's no objectivity with you when it comes to the Lakers. So there's no reason for me to even have a conversation about basketball with you. So I'm good. With that being said, I don't know if there's a lot of guys in the league that I watch that I'm thinking, yo, he nicer with the pill than him. And he doesn't turn the ball over a lot. He takes good care of the basketball. He gets guys involved. And I really care about how you get guys involved. Right? I really care how you get guys involved. And I think Darius Garland does a good job in getting guys involved like he does. I feel like I said, Kyrie Irving, after Kyrie Irving, I think it gets tricky after that, man. Because I don't think that there's anybody definitively that I can say this dude is a better ball handler than Darius Garland. Based on what I think a great ball handler is, there's nobody after Kyrie Irving that I think definitively is a better ball handler than him. So this Cavs team, very much like what Oklahoma City got, very much like what the Celtics got, right? Very, very much. What's so funny, Laker fan? Like you're coming into my space like I'm ridiculous. You are a ridiculous Laker fan. How about that? And get out of my chat. Matter of fact, get your ass out of my chat. Get out of here, yo. Beat it. Get your ass out of my chat. Get out of here. When I think about your ability to handle the pill, right? You handle the rock and you have somewhere to go. You're not just throwing the ball between your legs, not only effortless, but without any purpose. Like I don't really constitute that as a good ball handler. I don't. If I did, then there's a bunch of guys who dribble the ball that dribble the ball nice like that. Bunch of guys. But I don't think that there's a lot of guys that are better definitive ball handlers than him. I don't. So like Oklahoma City, this Cavs team, I think they got 9 guys. Wade, Okoro, Karis LeVert, Ty Jerome. I feel like I'm leaving somebody out, though. I feel like I'm leaving somebody out. But they got 9 guys. And I know, actually, I think Wade starts. Max Strus comes off the bench. They got 9 guys. And the George Niang, they got 10 guys. And they got a damn good coach in Kenny Atkinson. Their schemes are well thought out. Not only are their schemes well thought out, this is a damn good Cleveland team. Very much like Oklahoma City, they get on the glass in terms of gang rebounding. They shoot gaps. Evan Mobley, one of the best shot blockers in the game. Right? Evan Mobley is one of the better shot blockers in the game, and I really like that about him. So we got a ball game on Wednesday night. I'm really looking forward to this. I am. I'm really looking forward to that. So I'll get back to you guys in a second, but let me get to the lobby and check the temperature. What up?
Chill. I think it's kind of crazy because about this Boston Celtics game yesterday. I don't think JT played bad.
I don't think he played bad neither. I just think
I think that
SGA
he
was
just didn't
better.
get ball. I just don't think he got the ball enough, as far
And
as I'm concerned.
that was largely due to OKC's defense. That wasn't because of him. No, that was OKC guarding at the long ball line the way that they did. Not just guarding at the long ball line, keeping him away from the ball, and with keeping him away from the ball and making those other guys make plays. Yeah, I don't think he was awful. No, I don't. I just think
Me
that
neither. I don't
I
think he
don't think
played
he was
bad.
awful. No, I don't think he was awful. I just think that Oklahoma City team, I just think that they were just better yesterday, and largely due to what
To that
SGA did.
defense.
Yes,
That
and that
first
defense
half,
that
the
they had.
Celtics were playing lead, and then that second half hit, and then Jesus Christ,
Right.
everything went completely just off the rails. They couldn't hit no threes, and we're not even talking about contested threes. They were missing wide open threes here. I'm seeing Derek White miss wide open. I'm seeing Drew miss wide open. Jalen miss wide open. It was bad yesterday.
I think that that was part of the game plan to get Drew Holiday to shoot. We're gonna leave Drew Holiday open, and if you leave Drew Holiday open, with very much like what happened yesterday with leaving Lou Dort open, like we'll live with Lou Dort making threes, and if he makes some, okay, bet. I think they felt the same way about Drew Holiday. We'll live with him making shots.
He's an elite
And
3-point shooter.
well, he was that last year. That's not going on now, and it definitely wasn't going on yesterday. It definitely was not going on yesterday. So, I mean,
unfortunate.
I'm not too concerned because I'm having a difficult time with Oklahoma City boxing up Jaylen Brown the way that they did. I'm having a difficult time.
They'll definitely have Coach Mazzulla will definitely have a better game plan next time he plays OKC. 100%.
We'll see.
That's like those are like the two teams I'm trying to run it back. Chill. February 5th against Cleveland. That's definitely a game I'm going to be watching against Cleveland. I want that run back. And then if we ever play OKC again.
Yep.
Those are two teams I want to run it back, and let's see if things are legit.
Yeah.
But
with that.
Yeah.
Definitely with that.
100%. Those are two teams. I don't think this performance right here from Jaylen Brown is indicative of who he is as a player. I think I can get better offensive production from him. Definitely better defensive production. I mean, chill. They basically were handing us a win. I mean, OKC started turning the ball over multiple times in the fourth quarter. I'm like, guys, they're handing you the win. They're giving you everything you got. They're giving you everything so you guys can win the game, and they still couldn't pull through. They started throwing. I'm seeing Shai throw the ball out of bounds. I'm seeing them strip them out of bounds.
Well, don't forget that this Celtics team. Don't forget that they are a top 10 defense. So it's not like
top
Oklahoma
5.
City just don't. It's not like Oklahoma City was just turning the ball over. No, we had two damn good defensive teams yesterday. Oklahoma City, what did they score? 105, something like that. I think that's 10. Yeah, I think that's 10 below their average. So I thought the Celtics did a good job, but OKC did an even better job on them. So this is an Oklahoma City team. This is an Oklahoma City team that I think I'm having a difficult time seeing them beat the Celtics 4 times in a week, but I think that I think they can make that a series if they end up seeing them late in the season.
For sure. Like how many games are we talking here?
I think it could be a 6-game series. Yes.
Oof.
Because
what it could be a 6-game series, then.
Because what I saw from Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, that defense alone, that defense travels. That defense isn't a defense that's just in Oklahoma City. No, that defense goes everywhere. That defense goes
Plus,
everywhere.
We're playing them in their building. I'd love to see them do this in TD Garden. I'd love to see them try to do that stuff in TD Garden. I'd love to see that.
It too. I'd like to see it too. So.
And we play. Just wanted to get your predictions real quick. We play Denver tomorrow. So what's that? How's that going to look like? Because they were undefeated last season. They beat the crap out of us twice last season. Mm-hmm. Is that happening tomorrow?
I think this is a different Denver team. Jamal Murray isn't what he was 2 years ago. As good as Joker is, I feel like the firepower that you guys have, I don't have Denver boxing up Jaylen Brown like Oklahoma City did. I think you can slow down MPJ with your perimeter defense. I mean, Sam Hauser couldn't make a shot yesterday. I saw him miss 3 or 4 wide open shots yesterday. And
he's
got a couple of days in between.
He's been dealing with a back He's been dealing with a back issue. That's why he hasn't been shooting well throughout the whole season. KP just came back from injury. Jaylen Brown just came back from injury. Drew came back from injury a couple games ago. Hauser's been dealing with a back injury the whole season. I mean, half the starters are injured. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you
That's
out there,
why there's been
I'm not listening to that injury logic, because if you're on the floor, you're telling me that you're ready to go. That's why I'm not trying to hear that.
True.
So,
You don't think that like KP
No.
being out of the lineup like kind of screws with the chemistry and stuff?
Now, it might be some rust, sure, that you have to get over. But as far as you being injured and being on the floor, I mean, if you're on the floor, that definitely tells me that you're ready to go.
So if you're
All right,
ready to,
Jay.
yeah, I can understand that logic.
Yep. I'll talk to you later, bro.
You have a good one.
Yep. What up?
What up, Shai? How you running tonight?
What up, brother?
Not much. I had a couple different questions kind of just spread around your topic for tonight. So this one you might not know. It's kind of like a weird stat. When do you think the last time we saw two teams on a 10-plus game win streak playing against each other? Because, I mean, the Cavs are on a 10-game win streak, OKC 15. I feel like that's a pretty rare occurrence, you know?
I remember when in the 95-96 season, when the Bulls saw Orlando.
Okay.
I think both of those guys, they were at the top of the East. I mean, the Bulls were rolling, right?
Gotcha.
The Bulls were rolling, but so was Orlando at that time. And I think Orlando had come in with the game was in Chicago. I think the Orlando had come in with like a 7-game win streak. The Bulls were rolling at that point. That was one of the few regular season games that had a lot of energy. But I can't remember. In order for you to have a team that won 15 straight and then another team to win 10 straight,
yeah,
I mean, they're rolling.
Yeah,
that's exactly what that means. They are rolling. So
yeah, this is going to be a great game.
It's going to be a great game. This is one of those games that I want to go to. I don't want to watch this game on TV. If I had the opportunity, I would be in Oklahoma City for that.
Yeah, I'm an OKC fan, and I went out to Vegas to watch them play Houston. And it was a pretty great game. But one of my other questions was, do you think Topic's role next year is going to be like a second unit role, kind of like what Giddey would have done if he wanted to take a bench role?
I told my buddy Mars, I said, if I'm Brooklyn, I'm calling up Oklahoma City and I'm asking for Topic.
And is OKC doing that? Is there a package you think they would accept, like Cam Johnson, or?
I think they'll take some ones. I think they'll take I think they'll take a one, and maybe we can swap ones. But from what I understand, this kid Topic was supposed to be a top 3 pick. That's how good he is.
Yeah.
And I think that Oklahoma City is straight with their ball. They already got a ball handler. His name is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They're good. They're good with him as a ball handler. If they were to get Topic on the floor, now what Topic does is Topic takes the ball out of SGA's hands. And I don't think he's nearly as effective playing off the ball. He's a lead guard.
Yeah.
He played lead guard at Kentucky. He played lead guard with the Clippers. When Chris Paul showed up, he played alongside Chris Paul. He played off the ball, but he mostly plays the lead guard. So if I'm Brooklyn, I'm calling up Oklahoma City and I'm asking for Topic, because I think that with him, I feel like that's your point guard of the future. And I think that you can build around him.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the reason why people kind of slept on Josh Giddey and called that trade like one-sided, was because, I mean, he didn't have a role to fit in Oklahoma City because SGA was the ball handler. Mm-hmm. But I watched Mark Daigneault, the coach, talk about Topic today and like his recovery on the ACL. And he spoke really highly of him. So that's why I was kind of wondering. I mean, I assumed you didn't see it because people don't just watch coach press conferences. But
I didn't see it. But I knew that he tore up his ACL. And I knew that, coming into the draft, that if it wasn't for that injury, he would have been a top 3 pick.
Yeah, Daigneault spoke. He spoke really highly of him. And
yes,
he said he's really happy with his recovery and that he's taking it seriously. So I think they might try to do something with him, but I could see him sending him off to Brooklyn. But it was nice talking to you, Joe.
All right, brother. Good to talk to you.
Yep.
And not because Topic can't play. It's just you already got if I got Rod Strickland at the lead guard, I'm not getting Mark Jackson. I'm already straight at my lead guard spot, right? If I got Magic, I don't need Isaiah. I already got a lead guard. That's not this, and it's not to go, play these 2 dudes alongside each other. No. No. Because what I'm doing is that I'm making one guy. You just want to see that. I don't want to see that. I want to see them when they are the most effective. And Topic is the most effective, I think, when he has the ball in his hands. But they already got a guy like that. What up? Yo.
What's up, Lo?
What's up,
Jill, sorry.
What up?
What's up, man? Just had a quick question for you.
Yep.
So I'm looking at Shai's schedule, and I mean, last month it was pretty difficult, but we're looking at the beginning of the year now, and it's extremely tough. So if he comes out of not just Wednesday's game, but Friday's game as well, do you have him jumping Jokic?
As the league MVP?
Yeah.
I got him as the league MVP now. I don't need to see Jokic hit this stretch. I think that he affects winning more than any of those guys do.
Yeah. I think it's ridiculous when people say that Jokic is far ahead. That's just stupid.
I think he affects. Now, sure, I can give Joker the edge because Joker is a better player. He does more, 100%. All right. But what is the league MVP about? It's not about being the best player in the league. No, that's not the case. Because if that was the case, we wouldn't have seen LeBron James go 10 years without a league MVP. That wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't have seen Jordan only win 5. We would have seen Shaq win more league MVPs. I don't think that's the problem. The problem that we're having here is Shai's in Oklahoma City, and he should be revered. He should be revered more. I mean, I said this before the season started. Why are the Clippers on TV more than Oklahoma City? Why?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I think that before the in-season tournament championship, yesterday's game. Was it yesterday's game? No, I'm sorry. This Wednesday. This is their first national This is their first national television game.
That's insane.
But I'm talking about before. If they're not in the in-season tournament championship, Wednesday is their first national television game. I ain't talking about on NBA TV. I'm talking about national television. That's it right there.
Wait, so can ESPN swap out teams?
You would think that they would, right? They flex games all the time, right? They do that all the time. So with that being said, you would think that in my estimation, a team as good as Oklahoma City, who by the way finished number 1 in the Western Conference last year, why wouldn't they be on TV more this season than last year? Why wouldn't they? I mean, because they got bounced in round 1. I mean, and in the second round, I would think that bringing that whole crew back, I definitely think that they would be on TV more if that was the case. I don't think that if I'm watching them, I don't think that they get nearly as much respect as they should. Nearly as much.
Yeah. Well, all right, Jill.
No doubt. This Cleveland team, they got 10 guys. They fly around on defense. They got a great rim protector in Jared Allen. They got an awesome overall defender in Evan Mobley, who you guys know how I feel about him. I love Evan Mobley. He's my guy. They got a great playmaker in Donovan Mitchell. They got one of the better ball handlers in Garland. I'm convinced. And like I said before the season started, I still think that Oklahoma City, I still feel like Oklahoma City is a year away from winning it. And I feel like the Cavs are a year away from really challenging for the NBA championship. What I mean when I say challenging for the NBA championship, getting to the NBA finals. I really feel like that. What's so funny, Dane, whatever your name is? What is so funny? Can you clue us all in on what is so funny? I'm all ears because I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out where the joke is because I'm clearly out of it. I'd like to know what the joke is. What's so funny, my man? I'm gonna take my headphones off and I'm gonna let you be the show so you can tell us, right? You can tell us what's so funny. What's the deal, my man? What's so funny? Because just so you know, since Donovan Mitchell has been on that Cavs team, they've advanced every year in the playoffs. They were a play-in team. Donovan Mitchell gets on the crew. They're a legit playoff team. They go from being a legit playoff team to last year they lose in the semifinals. This year, they're at the top of the Eastern Conference. So they've advanced every year since Donovan Mitchell has been on the team. So I ask you again, whatever your name is, Zen, what is so funny? Please tell me what's so funny. What's so funny? You said he choked a 3-1 lead. That was 5 years ago. 5. Once again, Damazin, whatever your name is, what's so funny? Please clue us all into that, my good man. What is so funny? I would really love to know this because I'm watching this Cleveland Cavaliers team, and they don't go as Donovan Mitchell goes. This is a damn good team. This is a damn good Cleveland team. Damn good. This is a damn good team. And again, what you're asking me, what has he done since then? Again, what is so funny? That's what I'm asking you. He hasn't won a thing. Actually, he did. He won a playoff series. Yes, he did. That was just last year. He advanced to the semifinals. He won a playoff series. So if you're gonna talk to me, get your facts straight. Just because you don't win the NBA championship does not mean that you're not winning, and they are advancing. So again, whatever your name is, Damazin, what's so funny? That's what I'm asking you. You still haven't answered the question of what's so funny. With a team that Donovan Mitchell is on, that was a play-in team the year before he got on the crew. He gets on the crew. They're a top 5 seed in the East. They go from being a top 5 seed in the East to being a top 3 seed last year and win a playoff series to now they're at the top of the Eastern Conference. And they have the best record in the NBA. They have the best record in the NBA. And last I checked, Damazine, whatever your name is, I've never, and I've been watching the NBA for a long time, I have never heard the commissioner get up on a podium and say, congratulations, barely NBA champions. I've never heard him say that one time. Never. I have never heard him say that. I've never heard the commissioner of the NBA take the Larry O'Brien trophy and say, congratulations, barely NBA champs. Congratulations for barely winning. I've never heard that. I don't think I'll ever hear that. Ever. So with that being said, right? With that being said, like this right here, if the Magic were healthy this year, they would beat the Cavs. You mean the Cavs who are better this year than they were last year? So you just stop. What are you talking about? The same Cavs team that's better this year than they were last year. Just like you think Orlando is better if they're healthy, the Cavs are better. They got the best record in the NBA. So, and even if the Magic were better, if we got better and we beat you last year, how does that make you better than us? I can tell you how. It doesn't. So what are you talking about? It doesn't. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Like I was saying, I underestimated that the Cavs could be this good in the regular season. Right? I underestimated that. And I thought that they'd be a top 3 seed in the East. I thought that they would be that good. I didn't think that they would be 15 straight wins good and then another 10 straight wins. I did not think that they would be that good. No, I didn't. I did not think that off the strength, right? Off the strength of Evan Mobley taking a leap and him being a good player, a better player this year. I wasn't sure if he could be an all-star this year, but I thought that he'd be better. And I thought the defensive player of the year was definitely within his grasp. And I still think it's there. I don't think it's sort of kind of there. I think it's right there that he could win it. Yes, 100%. And with that, right? With that, I think that this Cavs team, they have what I underestimated, which was the ingredients. And they kept this crew together. And it's coming together better than what I thought it would, quicker than what I thought. I still think that they're a year away from really challenging for the NBA championship. I do. I still think that they're a year away from really challenging for the NBA championship. But man, are they making progress. This Cavs team is really making progress. I love everything about them. I don't love some things or most things. I love everything about this Cavs team. I do. I just feel like because I don't think Evan Mobley is there yet, I still think that they're a year away from really challenging for the NBA championship. I thought that this year, when Donovan Mitchell got on the crew, I thought that they could make the playoffs. The year he got on the crew, which they did, I thought that the next year that they were a legit playoff team. I thought that what happened last year was legit. I thought coming into this season, I said that their ceiling, I think the Cavs ceiling is the East Finals. And I think next year in the 25-26 season, the 10 years after the Cavs won the NBA championship, by the way, it'll be 10 years next year that the Cavs won the NBA championship. I think next year, the Cavs challenge for the NBA championship. Legit challenge for the NBA championship. I think that they're a crew that is on the doorstep of greatness because everything that they have, everything that's necessary in order for them to win, they got it. It's just a matter of I think it's just a matter of letting it cook and putting it together, right? Letting it cook and don't take it out of the oven too early. Letting this thing cook and putting it together and letting it cook, because I can tell you right now, right? I can tell you right now that this team, they have all the ingredients. If you look at everything that's necessary, you got elite perimeter defense. In addition to having elite perimeter defense, you got a guy on the block. You got 9 to 10 guys in your rotation. They have everything necessary. I just don't think that they're there yet. I'm having a difficult time seeing a team beat that Boston Celtic team 4 times in a week, considering how the vets that they have. Considering the vets that they have, I'm having a difficult time seeing anybody beat them 4 times in a week. And I'm looking forward to it. And Sneed, I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts that if the Cavs beat Oklahoma City, I won't see this guy. I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts that if the Cavs beat these guys, I won't see this guy. I might not never see him again, as a matter of fact. If the Cavs beat these guys, I might not never see this guy again. If the Cavs beat them, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't show up ever again, because that's what front runners do, right? That's normally what front runners do. So, I mean, I don't think that there's, I don't think that there's, I don't think there's much that you can argue. I don't think there's much that I can argue with that, and that's really all it is. So, with that, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. The Celtics got Denver. That's going to be a really good game. I'll be interested to see how Porzingis is able to handle Joker. I don't think he's going to be able to slow Joker down. I'd be lying if I said I thought that he could slow him down, but I don't think anybody can slow Joker down. But I'll be really interested to see what the game plan is against Denver. Jamal Murray did not play good over the weekend against San Antonio. I thought that he would be better, because he'd been playing better up until that point, right? He had been playing a lot better up until that point, and it's hot and cold with him lately. And I'm not buying the whole injury thing. No, I'm not buying it, because when you step on the floor, you're telling me that you're good to go. That's what you're telling me. When you step on the floor, you're good. If you're not good, right? If you're not good, then it's something different. But if you step on this floor, you're telling me you're good to go. So with that being said, I'm not buying the injury bug with Jamal Murray. He's got to play better. He has to, in order for them to have a legit chance. And I think that on the scouting report, I think it's going to be to go at him. I think on the scouting report, it's going to be to go at him. Russ gives them a different dynamic that they don't have, right? Russ gives them a different dynamic that they don't have, that a lot of teams don't have off the bench. I love the fact that Russ comes in the game and he speeds them up. I don't like that about Russ. I love that about Russ. I think that's fantastic with what Russ does. It's great. And because of that, right? Because of that, that gives them a dynamic that a lot of teams don't have. You don't have a backup lead guard that can speed the game up and distribute like Russ. You don't. You might have a backup lead guard that can consistently knock down the long ball. You might have a lead guard that can get downhill. But what you don't have is, you don't have a guy who can speed the game up like Russ. And the chemistry between Russ and Joker, it looks a lot like Anthony Davis and Reeves, off the strength that it just works. I just like the chemistry between those two guys. I just do. It works. Joker makes the game a lot less difficult for Russ. And I think vice versa. Russ is looking for him also. There's a reason why Joker asked for him specifically in the offseason. He specifically asked for him. He said that. That's not something that I'm making up. He specifically asked for him. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow's game between the Celtics and the Nuggets. So it's about that time for me, guys. It was great to see you tonight. You know where to find me at. If I'm not here, I'm on TikTok 9 a.m. every morning, Monday to Friday. If I'm not there, I'm here. If I'm not here, you can find me with me and my man Tony Tone on Tuesday nights on Chilltown Hoops Network or the Sports Fluent Network. Me and my man Tony Tone do it every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. If I'm not there, you can find me on the panel on the Players Choice Network, 11 to 2 every day, Monday to Friday. If you can't find me there, you can catch me on Saturday afternoon at 12 o'clock, me and my man Big Ox. We get it in. So I will see you guys soon, right? I will see you guys soon. But until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. The last time you talk to your mother, call your mother. I will talk to you guys soon, but until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys tonight. This was good stuff. I enjoyed that.